Assassin's Creed is heading to Egypt with new hero Bayek, but here are 9 other changes Origins brings to the series. Ancient Egypt is huge. Origins Egypt has more in common with Horizon Zero Dawn than Syndicate's London in that its open world crams multiple cities, sunken temples, caves, and stories into a landscape that stretches for miles. Climbing towering buildings plays less of a part in Origins 2, with the pyramids the only real endurance climb. Fluidity of movement is still key though, and Bayek can leap effortlessly between buildings and landmarks. Elsewhere, loading screens and the minimap have gone, and while quests are still highlighted with waypoints, you're encouraged to explore to find other areas of interest, both on land and underwater. In previous Assassin's Creed games, specific missions determine the time of day. In Origins, there's a 24-hour cycle and you can tackle missions at any time. Do you wait until nightfall to attack when there'll be fewer guards on patrol, or do you use the busy crowds gathered during the day to get close to your target? It's up to you. Origins no longer ties you to main missions, forcing you to complete them and charging you with desynchronization if you don't. Now, there's a quest-based system where you can dive in and out of any main or side quest at any time. So if you're in the middle of a quest and stumble across someone who asks for help, you can stick your current endeavour on ice and come back to it later. This means the world feels a little bit more open, with player choice dictating the flow of events rather than jumping from one set mission to the next. Origins plays more like an action RPG compared to the previous games, with you and your enemies given levels that indicate strength. As a result, one-hit assassinations on higher-level characters are impossible, so you'll need to grind to make sure you don't bite off more than you can stab. If you do fail an assassination and return again stronger to finish the deed, you may find more armed guards surrounding your target, or that they've fled completely. Theoretically, you should never come back to the same situation twice. Bayek's skill tree has 3 branches. Warrior abilities buff combat skills. Seer helps you ghost through compounds using smoke screens and other tricks. And Hunter favours long-range attacks. While you're able to master each type, the skills do overlap, meaning you can blend your abilities rather than focus entirely in one area. Origins combat systems have been completely overhauled. It's based on a hitbox system, so there are now more variables during a fight. 2 attacks, quick and powerful, provide the foundation of Bayek's arsenal, bolstered by blocks, parries, dodging, and barrel rolls. And because multiple enemies now attack at the same time rather than waiting their turn, there's a greater emphasis on using the right attack at the right time to land a hit while still keeping enemies at bay. You can put all combat skills to the test in the fighting pits, going toe-to-toe with waves of enemies and, ultimately, tough boss battles. Each arena is filled with pits, traps, and animals, plus distinct challenges like fighting using only a bow. Survive and you'll be rewarded with new loot, outfits, and weapons. Fallen enemies now drop loot, which Bayek can now permanently put in his inventory. Every new weapon or piece of armor makes him stronger, and it's color-coded on rarity. The rarer the item, the more powerful its effect. The gear you use has just as much influence as the abilities equipped. Maces work perfectly well against hippos, but take on a crocodile with a sword and it'll bounce off its tough hide. Senu is Origin's very literal answer to Eagle Vision. Bayek can get a bird's eye view of the area around him, and with skill upgrades can tag enemies, distract foes by dive bombing them, and mark nearby objectives, which is particularly useful in the absence of a minimap. But Senu isn't the only creature you'll find in ancient Egypt. You can battle hippos and tame crocodiles and, like Far Cry, set wild animals on your enemies. There's a plethora in Origins that help make Bayek's world a living, breathing ecosystem. And just like in real life, you can pet a cat if you find one. That's our roundup of 9 new things in Assassin's Creed Origins. To see it in action, check out our Let's Play that aim to find out whether stealth or combat was most effective, or 10 minutes of high-level gameplay in our IGN first.